Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the House at Hammer, built by the nation for the nation. Welcome to Raider Nation News today. If this is your first time in here, y'all know the routine. There ain't no graphics on this one. Break them thumbs, hammer them subs, smash the bell to stay up to date with all your Raiders news, rumors, updates, live streams, and reactions. Milestone alert. I love y'all. We hit 7,700 between the time we finished the last live and now. We're a little under 300 away from 8K. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Without any further ado, let me bring my guy in. 20,000+ on Instagram. You got to love his reels. And if you don't, you're really missing out. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, the GOAT 209. What's good, bro?
How you doing? How you doing, man? Thanks for having me back on.
Of course, of course.
I can see the I can see the chat now, so it makes me happy.
I told you, so many people don't, and now that I'm using this platform, it's like if I'm gonna have people on, we could just keep it simple and just do it this way. Shout out to Oakland Raiders, shout out to Garrell, shout out to Lil Tiger, shout out to Manny, shout out to Gertie, shout out to Dominique, shout out to LA Rob Cisneros. Y'all know what it is. Yeah. Shout out to Lionel, shout out to Dyson. I think that's it right now. Bro, we had some news earlier. We have hired former Chargers GM Tom Telesco. Let's talk about it. What are your thoughts on this?
You know, we still have our interim GM. I was pretty adamant that I think they're going to go a different route than him because he's unproven. Giving somebody the keys to the house with not really a track record might be an issue because this draft is probably, to me, this is the most important draft we've had in the past decade. We're at that cusp where we can do some damage next year. And so I think they wanted to go the route where they got somebody that was experienced, has a proven track record, has a draft history, and has a winning mentality. And I think that's what they did. And they realized, hey, Chip might not be ready. We might need somebody to groom him a little bit. And it seems like he's staying on too. That's kind of the gist I'm getting, because you don't see people really interviewing him too much. So I think we might have both of them, to be honest. And I'm happy with that. I'm happy with the GM hire. You got to look past that fact that he's a Charger. You can't look at that all day, man. And that's what I tell people. Look at the resume, look at the numbers, look at the stats. Don't look at where he's been,
That was the thing. And shout out to my boy Jake, once again, of Charger Syndicate. He's been covering the Chargers for years. He's a diehard Chargers fan. He's the one that kind of talked me and some of the guys in the nation off the ledge after hearing the news today, and everything that his information definitely made a lot of sense, and he clarified a lot of things where it's like nobody should be stressing out or going crazy over this. And I've seen my comments from the live earlier, even from the short I did, people have already been going batshit. And realistically, there's no reason to be like that right now. Yes, our top priority moving forward now, obviously we still need an OC, but after that, it's going to be who is our next quarterback and where is it? Raider just asked in the chat, excuse me, just a situation, but what do you think about this? Trade the number 4 with the Cardinals because if the Bears are invested in Fields, they will take MHJ. Oh, Marvin
Harrison, yeah.
Washington takes Caleb, Pats take May, and we get JD at number 4. It depends on what the Cardinals would be asking for that number 4 overall. We talked about trying to trade up with them in last year's draft, and it never happened. So I don't know.
Those draft picks come heavy. That's a problem. Anything 1 through 6, when you're getting a quarterback, they are heavy. You're going to be trading 2-3 years of first round picks away for that, or you're going to be giving a high profile player away. So I saw some people floating around oh, we can give Hunter. I'm like, Hunter's not getting a first round pick. That's just not going to happen.
At best, but if we outright release him, we're going to save 8.1 million cap space, which will put us at about 63.1 in money to play with. So I wouldn't mind that. Shout out to True Raider. He said, saw the GOAT with my boy MC Raider on Sunday.
Oh, talking shit. So I mean, this thing, when you look at Tom, you got to look at the quarterbacks he's drafting. So he scouted Peyton Manning, he drafted Andrew Luck, and then he drafted Herbert. Like that's three. If Luck would have kept playing, he's probably a Hall of Famer.
Yep.
Herbert's headed that route. That's a track record of drafting quarterbacks right there. That's why he got hired. It's just you can't argue with his resume. And that's the thing. I knew everybody was going to give him shit because he's a Charger. Like, and the thing we beat him by 63 points on him. Like, he's not the coach. He
Right.
gives the coaches the players, and you see standouts. He drafts multiple Pro Bowlers. He's drafted multiple great players that are scouted him, like Edgar and James. He had a little flop with Johnson this year, but like he's drafted tackles and guards that started 100 games in NFL. He's drafted Pro Bowl linemen, wide receivers, Bosa, Herbert. Like it just goes on and on and on what this dude's drafted. So, but what he's good at is quarterbacks, and I think that's why we got him.
Well, I definitely think that he'll be the guy because there were reports out there that pretty much Champ wasn't thinking about trying to move up in the draft, but apparently, I guess whatever Tom Telesco brought to the table was the complete opposite, and it was like, okay, this is our GM. Like, look, his resume speaks for itself. He's been around the league for over 30 years at this point in time. I, I I think the experience plays a major and crucial role into him being the GM. And again, Champ is still here. He's still under contract not right now. He's the assistant. So look, let him continue to learn and let him continue to develop. But let this guy right now who's in charge make the smart, conscious decisions. My guy Jake had called in earlier and he had said that when it comes to like, and you just mentioned, he's done a really good job when it's come to drafting quarterbacks. um, he is an offensive minded guy. So cool. You're the offensive mind. AP, we know is a defensive mind. Shit should make sense and shit should work out. Like, I don't see why these guys cannot come together and make conscious football decisions and put this team in the right direction moving forward for years to come. But right now, it's going to come down to getting one of these talents at the quarterback position that we're going to have here for the next 10 years.
Yeah, and we we went 7-9 with no offense. That tells you something.
Mhm.
And I pointed this out. So we were pretty much a top 10 scoring defense this year.
Yep.
8 out of the top 10 scoring defenses made the playoffs. We didn't, and the Saints didn't. That's it.
Right.
And what do you blame it on? Quarterback playing offense. That's what
Right.
happens. You need something a little bit supplemental to that. And I think that's what he's going to bring. And the thing is, somebody like him has talent. He has a coaching tree. He has other people he worked with, and he'll be involved in hiring an offensive coordinator. AP was involved in hiring the GM. AP was there for the second meeting. They wanted to see if they mesh, and apparently they got along well, and then they hired him. That was the end of the story. It happened within a few days.
Right.
So, to think that we're not going to get a good O coordinator, I think we will. We're not going to get or pull somebody from away from a team. I don't think that's realistic. We're going to get somebody that's a good quarterbacks coach or something like that, or somebody that's up and coming. And then from there, put them as an offensive coordinator. We're not going to pull one of the major teams' OCs. That's just not going to happen. And I
So
think people are thinking that, but I'm like, nope.
yeah, I don't see that happening either. Like, so I've been talking about this for like the last 24 hours. We have three candidates as it stands right now, or at least we had three. Now we're down to two. Shane Waldron actually has taken the job with the Chicago Bears as their new
Yeah.
offensive coordinator. And we still have Luke Getsy, the former offensive coordinator of the Bears, and Cliff Kingsbury as the two leading candidates right now. Who do you think is going to get this position? Who would you want to have this position? Or is it really
If you've
like,
seen any of my stuff, I fucking hate Cliff Kingsbury, man. Whoever and that's the thing. Like I've been in the comments a lot lately, fact checking people. Like, oh, he ran these top offenses. I'm like, he had a number 11th offense once in his career.
Mhm.
And then other than that was like 15th, 17th, and 20th. He's not an offensive guru. He's not a great offensive mind. He's lost everywhere he's went. He's riding Patrick Mahomes' coattails because of what Patrick Mahomes is doing in the NFL. He couldn't develop Kyler Murray. He didn't develop Mahomes. Mahomes had a below average grade coming out of college. That was Andy Reid. That was not Cliff Kingsbury. He's not a good play caller. He doesn't have top offenses. I don't know what else to say. And I can't, people are fighting so hard for Cliff Kingsbury, who's a fucking nobody and has no connection to us whatsoever. And I'm just like, literally, he got fired because he had Hopkins, Murray, he had a running back, and he was still the 15th to 20th ranked offense in the NFL. What does that tell you? He just didn't work. To me, I would take Getsy at this point. I mean, if that's the only person we are interviewing, he got fired with the Bears, and again, the Bears had bad coaching, had a bad team. But under him, they had the first or second ranked rushing offense in the NFL, which is going to happen with Fields. But they knew how to do ball control, they knew how to move the ball, and they knew how to score points. I think it was just a lack of talent on that point. And he was also a quarterbacks coach for a long time too. So I think that's kind of a dual thing. He understands the run game and understands quarterbacks.
Yeah.
They gotta bring somebody in that's gonna groom a quarterback. I kept saying Brian Greasy. I know that's a long shot. He's the 49ers.
Well, he's a quarterbacks coach, right?
He's the one that coaches Brock Purdy, and look what Brock Purdy's done. I tell people, is Brock Purdy ain't that good, but he's the most efficient game manager that you could hope for.
And that's because it's a system for him. And that's what a lot of people have said. They're saying for him, it's a system, and I get that.
It is. And Shanahan and the other people help him with that. And I think getting a part of that understands how to make a system for a quarterback is really important, because you got to build the offense around the quarterback, not the other way around.
Right.
So to me at this point, if Getsy's going to be the main candidate versus Kingsbury, I would take Getsy.
Shout out to Big Daddy O with the 199, Josh McDaniels for OC. Yeah, I'd rather shit my hands and clap, my guy. Moving on. Better yet, here, this is what you get for that one.
Dummy, yeah.
Anyway,
he paid $2 for you to post this comment. Come on.
No, I know you're playing, but I still had to give you the
dummy. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Zach Robinson as OC is building for me 5 years under McVay. There was another guy that was on that Shanahan tree. He just got fired. He was an OC for Carolina, and right now I can't remember his name right now. But that was a dude that I had talked about, and I got shot down with that. Mike McDonald.
His name, I want to say his last name was Brady. For that,
I thought it was
because I remember
for some reason.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. No, because I've been on the Deuce Staley train too. I think Deuce Staley is going to be a good offensive coordinator sooner or later.
Thomas Brown.
Yeah. Oh, he got fired? I thought he was still the coordinator.
No.
Oh, he got fired?
Yep. And he is a guy that I was like, why not? He's actually being interviewed for a head coaching position. He just got his second interview with the Titans yesterday for their head coaching spot. So there you have it. Everybody's fiending right now for anybody off of that Shanahan tree. Like, fuck, can't catch up.
Was he he was offensive coordinator of the Rams, wasn't he?
He might have.
Or is he an offense assistant? I know he coached with the Rams when they won the Super Bowl. I don't know what he did though.
I would have to look, but I know he was. Hold on, I'll tell you 2 seconds.
He was how hard it is to keep track of all this shit.
He was the assistant head coach and the tight ends coach in 2022. He was a running backs coach and assistant head coach in 2021. He was a running backs coach in see, this dude fucking has been a coach of just about every position on the offense. He's a guy I would fucking sign up in a heartbeat to be an offensive coordinator for us. Jesus Christ. Yeah, there's no doubt. I would have taken him in a heartbeat. It is what it is. Clint Kubiak. That's another guy that I've talked about. Frank Reich. As a coordinator, maybe. Definitely not a head coach. Marvin Lewis and Zach Robinson that's right. Zach Robinson is another guy that's been talked about that I believe they did have him in for an interview. He's another candidate right now. I wouldn't mind that. Because they seem like they're keeping the close ties. Like Marvin Lewis is now here with us. Tom Coughlin's here for those that were unaware of that. Tom Coughlin's with us as well. In an advisor role, which is great. Like those are two very old is not the word. Very wise football minds. That's the best way to put it. That's the nicest way of putting it. But those guys will definitely help in the development of AP as a head coach moving forward as well. So I'm here for it.
I think their best part's going to be developing talent and game plans. That's going to be their number one thing. And kind of after the game, the old saying, hindsight is 20/20. Those guys will be able to meticulously analyze tape after the fact and show the mistakes that were made. I think that's going to be the number one thing, because when we saw AP coaching, like he made mistakes with calls, he made some mistakes with time management,
Right.
and McDaniels did the same thing. But McDaniels has 20 years of experience and Super Bowl rings, should not be making those mistakes. So with AP, we put him on a lot longer leash. Like, hey, we're gonna have some bumps. This is his first coaching job ever. He's gonna make mistakes. He's gonna make dumb calls. He's gonna make dumb decisions. It's gonna happen here and there. But having people like Coughlin and Lewis around are gonna kind of cut back on those because you got some, you got 100 years of knowledge just in your ear talking to you. Like literally 100 years of coaching knowledge, in your ear saying, "Hey, don't do that." And the difference between AP that you see with a lot of other coaches, like I would compare AP to a Tomlin type. He listens. He knows when he's wrong. He's like, I messed up. What are we going to do about it? He listens to criticism too. And you've seen that. He lets people be themselves. So I think if he messes up or there's things he's not doing well, he's going to take that, criticism very, very well. Very well,
Especially if it comes from a guy like Coughlin and Tenka.
Yeah. Coughlin was a monster.
Structure and discipline. You're not lying. The stories that I heard about him as a head coach with the Giants, dudes being late for meetings and shit, like he did not fuck around. So it's like that's gonna be grandpa on the rocking chair. If AP messes up, like grandpa's gonna get up and get his belt out. Like he does not play around. Dyson said Hammer got Wasted and Graf. I got Wasted and Graf behind him, bro. They'll always be behind me. Those are my big bros. They always got my back. Remember that. Shout out to my big bros and Graf. Please get better quickly, man. He's accountable. Yes, he is. It's pretty important to know what you don't know. That's competent behavior. That's a fact. McDaniels wasn't listening to anybody. No one was even standing near him on the sidelines.
Yeah.
Pretty fucking accurate.
Yeah, it's very accurate. Nobody talked to him. I told people that dude. So I went to the press conference, like the opening day press conference with him. And the dude was just awkward as shit. Like he's so awkward, hands in his pockets, no confidence, doesn't know how to talk to people. Yeah, it is what it is. But he would the funniest thing, he would continuously put Ziegler in front of him so he didn't have to talk to people. So he'd be standing there and like he would slowly like circle behind Ziegler and stand behind him so people will go to Ziegler first and be like, oh yeah. And we're just like, this dude's just weird. Like we got the fucking creeps from him when we met him.
And this, my friends, is why Jack McDaniels is not built to be a head coach.
No.
You heard it here on the GOAT.
Yeah, he's just creepy. Oh yeah, I told people because he has no neck. He reminds me of the no neck Ed from 90 Day Fiance. Like his neck is, I swear to God, in a suit, no neck whatsoever. I mean, it was just the weirdest thing. And he's like a little tiny guy too. He's like maybe 5'6". That's a little dude.
Little Ed.
Yeah.
I hated that dude. Let's see. Can we bring Buckner back as D-line coach and cable? No, come on, dude. we really living through nostalgia now? Come on, bro. No.
Don't. I bet he wants Gruden back too, But I saw somebody put that.
Rob is good friends with Deuce. You don't see the picture? Like Deuce is his personal trainer. Oh my God, McDummy definitely has a punchable face. Yeah, he definitely does.
Did you see he was at the last game of the year for the Patriots? McDaniels?
No.
Yeah, he was there. He got spotted.
Asshole.
That's what I said. I'm like, no. And I thought it was bullshit. And I started looking it up and they found fucking photos. He tried to go incognito with his family. But no, he was there in like front row seats with his fam.
It's embarrassing. Like, dude, like, I guess he was trying, thinking he's going to get back on daddy's good side. I have a feeling, and you guys can call me crazy, but if Belichick takes a job in Atlanta,
he's hiring McDaniels.
Yeah.
And I can't wait till we play them sometime. I might even fly to Atlanta just to talk shit and throw stuff at him. Like, I think we just hate that guy, man.
Shout out to Johnny Kicknuts, the dopest name in the nation. What's good, bro?
Johnny Kicknuts.
That is my guy. We have a couple of crazy ones. We have that one. We have Lumpy Shart. We got a couple of crazy people that watch. I love it. I'm here for it. Watch, they bring McDipshit as OC. Stop it. Don't put that in the universe. They'll bring him to Atlanta. We ain't bringing him here. Damn that. Everybody will walk out. Shout out from Bay Area, Cali 510. It would be nice to get Buckner from the Colts. Are you talking about DeForest Buckner?
Yeah.
I wouldn't see why not. But like you guys know how I feel about defensive tackles and the guys that I want. Like Chris Jones is my number one. Leonard Williams, Christian Wilkins. Again, I can't remember this guy's name from Baltimore. I want to say I don't want to do it. Somebody put it in the chat and I'll try to pronounce it.
What,
Shout
the
out,
free agent lineman?
huh?
The free agent lineman?
Yeah, it's Mick. Oh God, I always seem to butcher it, and people put it in the chat earlier when I did the live. I can't remember his name right now. McAdovey or something like that.
That was McAdoo. No, it's not McAdoo. I know what you're talking about.
You know who yeah, you know who it is. I just can't. Matabuki. There we go.
There you go.
Thank you, Bourbon, because I've been on the front of the struggle bus with that name for like the last 3 weeks. I'm sorry, but yeah,
The thing is,
Matabuki.
do we really need another defensive lineman? Like, if we really think about it,
no, a legit veteran defensive tackle, absolutely. Yeah. And like, look, we know as of right now, Tyree is probably going to be on the interior moving forward. So get that veteran presence that's going to be next to Max. It's a wrap. We saw what Kuntz did the last 9 weeks. Tyree is starting to develop, and I think his second year, a lot of people are going to be surprised. All those people are like, "Oh, he's a bust. He's this. He's that."
No,
you guys are going to be silenced real quick. But we need that veteran presence next to him, in between him and Max, and I think sky's the limit for that defensive line.
Yeah, I see somebody in the chat said Josh Allen.
Oh, the linebacker?
If he plays outside. So is this thing.
I want Bryce Huff.
We need to get rid of Luke Masterson. Like, I don't care. It was funny because I was reading through the Raiders like accomplishments. Undrafted free agent did this, and that. I'm like, he was still trash. He's one of the lowest graded linebackers in the NFL. Just because you get tackles doesn't mean you're good. Okay. He misses calls. He misses plays. He's not efficient with his time. We need an outside linebacker because we have Debo, we have Spillane. You know, Debo can be a little bit better, but I think the weakest link on our defense is one outside linebacker and then defensive tackle. Like, those are our two weaknesses. We need somebody better at both positions. And I think it'd be really easy to upgrade with free agency. Even if you get somebody that's a mediocre player, that's better than what we have. You know,
I feel like we need to go big and try to get one of those 4 guys if possible, but also Jalen Johnson, the cornerback from Chicago, he's slated to be a free agent as well. I would love to have if we can get those 2 pieces on defense, and then the draft, offensive line, quarterback. Like, I think we're going to be just fine.
Yeah. Well, we talked about it in the last show. The defensive lineman in this draft, it's really, really thin. It's slim pickings. And so, like, when I was talking about the defensive tackle from Illinois, so I was like, oh, you know, beginning of the draft, like when they were talking about it earlier this year, like, oh, he's probably a 12 to 15. Now people have him slotted in the top 10 because there is no other lineman. Like, he's just leaps above what else is out there. Yeah. So there's not going to be the top tier lineman in this draft. So you're better off getting one in free agency. But there is a lot of really good tackles in this draft. You got 3 or 4 tackles that could be top 15, top 20.
Yeah.
Top tier tackles. So I could see us going that route if we you know, say we trade for a quarterback or trade for somebody. Because you keep hearing things. You keep seeing Kirk Cousins and you see Baker and you're seeing Fields.
I'm seeing Cousins now being linked to Atlanta if Belichick is there.
Yeah.
That would be like the perfect fit.
I want Kirk Cousins. He's going to win us 8 games. Cool. Like, we're going to be mid for 2 years and he's going to retire because he's like 36.
Shout out to Joe Kicknuts. Like you just mentioned it. Let's talk about it. A lot of recent mocks have Murphy from Texas at number 13. Since you're a Texas guy, what's your take? So Murphy is definitely a guy that's in the top 3. The kid from Illinois is number 1. And it's like a back and forth between 2 and 3. And funny enough, it's 2 Texas guys. You have Murphy and you have Tavondre Sweat. And Tavondre Sweat actually, I believe, is number 2. Murphy, since he did declare, he's number 3 when it comes to defensive tackles. I would be stunned if we went this route at pick 13, knowing that we need a quarterback of the future. I don't know. I'm curious to know who has these mock drafts that have us taking Murphy with the 13th overall. What do you think about that?
That's way too high. Like I was telling you, beginning when you start to see the need versus the best player, you see all these quarterbacks move up that aren't better than the defensive lineman or wide receiver counterparts because people need quarterback play. But when you start to see like linemen move up out of nowhere, there's a reason. Like we said, Sweat, he slotted to be a second round pick, second to third when the draft first started. Now
Right.
he's slowly moving up, and we haven't even gotten to the combine. Why is he moving up? Has anything changed? Has his play changed? No, he's the same player, but the needs overcome how good the player is, so they start to move up, and that to me is always scary. Because if you really assess this guy as a second or third round pick, you're like, you know what, we might take him in the first because we need that position. Doesn't mean you're gonna get a first round talent out of him. So I think they need to draft smart, draft the best player available because we do have multiple needs: tackle, D line, linebacker, quarterback. An obvious glaring need is quarterback. So I think if there's a quarterback available, you take it or you trade up for it. Period. And then after that, you start addressing those other needs because you can get solid linemen in the second round all
Yeah.
day, second, third round, all day. Getting a solid quarterback in the second or third round, very, very unlikely. It doesn't happen very often. So, the past 10, 12 years, there's been like 2 or 3 good quarterbacks in the second round. Like you have Hurts, Kaepernick, who did okay for a while, Carr, and then Dalton, who's that's it in the second round. Like it just doesn't happen very often.
Mid. Shout out to
Mid.
Shout out to Bourbon Country Raider, Jalen Johnson, yes. Christian Wilkerson, yes. Devin White, and Robert Hunt. Robert Hunt is a guy that I talked about a couple of weeks ago when me and my brothers, Wasted and Graf, put on our GM hats and started trying to play around with our salary cap and free agency. And Robert Hunt, dude, did a phenomenal job at the right guard position for Miami this past season. He's definitely a guy I would love to have. Like, I don't see Van Roten coming back. I don't see James coming back. And I've been saying, like, if anything, we're going to have to fill the void of right and left guard, center. I believe Parham should be moved to the center moving forward. But I'm not a GM and I'm not a head coach, so I don't have the answers. But with Jalen Johnson, Christian Wilkerson, and Devin White also being included in that, like you would already be going over the cap. So with Hunter Renfrow on our roster as it stands right now, we have a salary cap space of $55 million. 5 of it gets allocated to the draft, so that leaves us with 50. And then we have to also consider what's the average annual and what's the market value of these guys that are going to be on the market. And are we going to break the bank trying to go after these guys, or are we going to try to do something via trades during the start of the new league year? But still got plenty of time before that happens. We're actually a little under 2 months away from the start of the new league year, and the franchise tag period starts actually in a little under a month. So stay tuned for that, and I'll obviously keep you guys posted on that as well.
I like Delvin White. I think that would be a good fit. He's a strong, fast linebacker, but the problem was he got overtaken this year and started being a rotational player.
Yeah.
So, because he's not good at stopping the run, he's a blitzing linebacker, but he's stupid fast. It just depends if they would move him to outside or something like that. Because why would we're not going to run a 3-4. We're going to run a 4-3. So it depends if he'd be able to move outside or not. I don't think that's a realistic fit.
You think we're gonna run a 4-3? Our base has been pretty much.
We have too many good linemen. That's the problem. If you're going to run like rotational linemen, because the only problem if you're going to run Wilson, Kuntz, and Crosby all in the same, Wilson's not a 3-4 lineman. He's a 4-3 lineman. No. So he doesn't fit the scheme. And if you're running that, you need fast outside linebackers, and Crosby's going to get double teamed every time. You need 4 linemen with the players we have. Well, we won't run a 3-4, like very rarely. And if they institute that, like the only way I think Crosby would succeed in it, if you stand him up, which would just be stupid,
That dude's been doing it all though. Like, since McDaniels left, and I've said this on previous shows, like the handcuffs were off on all 3 phases of the game. But defensively, you saw a lot of things that you didn't see this team doing before. The way that they were blitzing, the type of stunts that they were running, like you have Max standing up a couple of times, and a couple of times he's on the edge and doing these stunts where you see him shooting the A gap, and it was like, what the fuck is this? Like, we didn't see this before. With the new GM, where does JJ and re-signing him stand now? I'll let you take this first.
Josh Jacobs. It's all about return on investment. It depends what kind of deal he does. Anything over 10 million, I tell him to walk. Regardless, so he shot himself in the foot by not taking that contract and getting greedy this year. And you never count another man's money. 100% feel what he did, agree with what he did. He was trying to get paid. You got one chance at this, but it shot him in the foot. The running back position is going to be even worse next year, so he's probably going to get even less money, and it's probably going to aggravate him. The only chance we have re-signing him is that he takes a 1 or 2 year deal, probably for 7 or 8 million, which I don't think he'll take from us. Because there is going to be a team that offers him 10 or 12. Somebody's going to break the bank for him. There'll be 1 or 2. We saw it with other running backs, the past couple of years, that one team wants a running back really bad and they throw money at him and it doesn't work out. So I can see him walking next year, because that's $10 million we can throw at a defensive player, and you can draft a cheap running back by committee. And this is the thing that everybody throws out that I push. The last Pro Bowl running back to win a Super Bowl was Marshawn Lynch. It was 2013. Think about that. People win by running back by committee. You can have 3 running backs that you drafted in the last 3 years that are making a total of like $5 million together, or you can have one good running back that's taking up 10 to 15. So what do people do? They do the committee route because they focus elsewhere.
I've said this before, like Christian McCaffrey is the last of the Mohicans. We're never going to see a running back make the type of astronomical money he's making now. I think JJ taking a home team discount. I don't see why he wouldn't. He got the guy that he wanted back, is back now. AP wants him here. Like, I would go at the most 10 and a half, but that's it. And like we've talked about this before, like he told me right to my face, like he wants to finish his career Raider. He wants to retire by the time he's 30 years old. So I don't see why not. And having a 2-headed monster with what we saw the last couple of games out of Zamir White, finally, all of a sudden he's got vision, which was the one thing I said he lacked tremendously last year. But I would love to see the 2-headed monster between JJ and Zeus next season.
Oh yeah. That, and JJ being the number 1, obviously, yeah. And if you get a rookie quarterback, you couldn't ask for anything more. You got Adams, Jacoby, you got a tight end who's good. And then on top of that, you got 2 running backs, one who's an all-pro. You could not ask for a better just pot of gold for a rookie quarterback. Usually rookie quarterbacks come into the shit offenses. Like, we have all the tools besides the quarterback. So if JJ stays, like I think, all we need for our offense is like a 15th ranked offense. That's all we need. We don't need anything else. We don't need a top 10. We don't need to scoring 30 points a game. We're good. We had a top 10 defense last year. We're good. It's going to get better next year, is what I'm assuming. I'm guessing we're going to be in the 5 to 7 range next year if we play like we did. Like, we should be elite defense.
This was a vast improvement compared to last season, regardless of when it happened for our defense or why it happened for our defense. Nobody expected this. This was a vast, ridiculous improvement that everybody's been happy about. And this is why we're in our situation now. Like, look, Patrick Graham's still here. We did talk about him getting that second interview from Seattle, but nothing else has been said about that at this point in time. I think with Telesco being here, that I believe that he's going to keep Patrick Graham as well as our defensive coordinator, unless told otherwise. Again, whether it being Champ or Patrick Graham, if God forbid one of these guys do end up taking a position elsewhere, we do get the 2 third-round picks for 2 years straight. But I really don't see either one of those guys leaving at this point in time. Shout out to Pablo Nava. He said, love the black hole trio behind you, 209. Pause if necessary. That was for you, bro, with Senor, Rilla, and Violator. Family, love you guys. Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a long time collecting those, man.
It would be awesome. I just checked Patrick Queen as a free agent. Wonder how he would look in the defense. I was watching him this past weekend, and God damn, that dude can move. That dude is a dog.
Oh, he's fast.
Hell yeah.
I don't think Baltimore's gonna let him go, man. I don't think they'll let him go, to be honest with you. He's an above average linebacker.
Yeah.
Which is what we need. Like, people think like, oh, we need to get these all pros. No, like he's an above average linebacker who can just run to the ball. He's like Spillane. He's always around the ball no matter what the hell happens. But somebody like that, yeah, that would be an upgrade linebacker position. But you got to really decide what we're going to do. And I think AP, for me, he's a linebacker. I can see us getting a good linebacker and him coaching him up because you have um, Debo, Spillane, who are stupid fast at linebacker position. Like they're two of the fastest linebackers in the NFL.
Yeah.
Debo's a converted safety, and
Yep.
Spillane just was a fast thumper. That's what he did. He could stop the run, but he couldn't cover. Now he can cover. So he'll like, where'd this come from?
And that was the
But you
thing
get
when
enough.
we signed him. When we signed Spillane, like we went through the free agency period, and when we signed him, I was kind of like, I was a little stunned. I was like, this is not the sexiest free agency pickup, in my opinion. And boy, did he prove me wrong. And I've been giving him credit for weeks on end.
Yeah.
Like, dude did a phenomenal job and became a leader amongst that linebacking core and amongst the defense. Like, dude brought the wood, laid the wood every single time he was out there, played with a broken hand at one point. Like, I got the utmost respect for Spillane, and we still got him for another year. So that's definitely a positive.
Not a deal. But the thing is, he didn't play like this for the Steelers. He was a
Oh,
back and forth starter. He was a fringe player, a fringe starter. And I told people, I'm like, he's fast and he can stop the run. He has to be coached up because he has holes in his game. And because people don't realize, I'm like, no, like he's fast, not like he's one of the faster linebackers in the NFL. And I was like, he just has some holes. That's why he didn't start. He can't cover with shit. I was like, that's when you have Eckler and like Pacheco coming out of the backfield. I'm like, that can cause some problems for us.
yep.
But it didn't this year. I was like, oh, this is nice. But because we got a linebacker that's coaching him now. He's like, no, don't do this.
Absolutely. It was
And,
definitely a breath of fresh air. You definitely
yeah,
had to work on the ankle pursuits too, because you
yeah,
see that dude running sideline to sideline all the
yeah,
fucking time.
yeah. And the thing is, you get somebody like AP who's a linebacker. AP didn't have the most talent when he played. He wasn't the best player on his defense, but he was the captain. And there's players like that understand the game
Yep.
and may not have all the attributes, but because they're understanding and their intellect of the game can play better than they actually are. And I think Spillane's one of those guys. You can only coach people so much. You still have to have talent. So, it's finding those people that have the attributes that he can, kind of hoist together and say, okay, we're going to use you to the best of your ability on our defense. And I think that's what he's doing. So, regardless, he's going to get somebody that fits his need. So I think he's going to get another speedster linebacker, somebody that's quicker, faster, because that fits. Why would you have one slow linebacker and two crazy fast ones? He's building this defense on speed. So besides Wilson, everybody else is crazy fast. Like Hobbs is fast, Bennett's fast, Jones is fast, Morrick's fast. Like our linebackers are fast. Crosby's just a speed demon at defensive line.
Yep.
Wilson's probably like the slowest player on the defense. This sounds bad, but like everybody is fast on our defense. And I think that's what he's going for, like fast and physicality. So
Hobbs
I
is
can see
a
this.
hybrid. Like Hobbs is
Yeah,
truly like a fucking hybrid. Like, dude, definitely like he's definitely another dude that is a thumper. Like, you might have him as a slot corner, but he absolutely plays like an outside linebacker. And when you call his number, that dude shoots out of a cannon and makes plays
yeah.
happen, like by any means necessary. That's one thing I love about Nate Hobbs. He is a dog.
Oh, and he tackles like crazy. He's such a
Ridiculously.
tackler. Yeah. He tackles like nuts, like so stopping the run. People don't go past him, and his coverage skills are just going to get better and better. I would never say he's going to be like a really shutdown corner, but he'll be that corner that can hold players down. He's going to have really good games, and you're not going to be able to run on his side. And that's the thing. Like people always say, like, "Oh, we need somebody like Darrell Revis or like Dion." I'm like, no, we don't need another Charles Woodson. It'd be great to have, but those elite shutdown corners are so infrequent in the NFL. There's usually only a few every year.
Right.
Maybe like Sauce Gardner or something like that. You just need really good players because really good players don't make a lot of mistakes. And then when you have Max Crosby coming after you, the quarterback's going to make more mistakes to make these cornerbacks play and look better. And you can see him start to build it from the front back. And that's how you build the defense. You have no pass rush. You're going to get the ball thrown all the time.
Shout out to Joseph Flores. Thank you for becoming a new subscriber. Those that are in here for the first time, do not let it be a last. Break them thumbs, hammer that sub, smash the bell to stay up to date with all your Raiders news, rumors, updates, live streams, and reactions. We're joined by my guy, the GOAT 209. Another edition of Vault Talk. It's always fun having him. This is the second time he's been in here. We had the opportunity to meet in person during the weekend of our season finale against the Broncos. definitely a good time. Got to see Charles Woodson again. Couldn't ask for better company. Most definitely. Shout out to Ruben Russ on the 499. Linebacker Kenneth Murray having an up year for the Dischargers. Do you think we could look at him to be a linebacker 2 or 3? Also worried about Telesco late round drafting. So, Ruben, when you get a chance, go back to the live that I did earlier. My guy Jake the Snake of the Charger Syndicate, he called on in to pretty much give us some detailed information as it pertains to Tom Telesco to pretty much prevent Raider Nation from jumping off the cliff. So take a look back at that live when you get a chance later on. Let's see. DB from the Raiders. Yeah, I talked about him, bro. Johnson. He's on my radar in free agency. Absolutely. And I know you just talked about Sauce. Sauce kind of had a down year this year too.
Yeah, the Jets did in general. That's what happens when you play in a good defense and your offense can't do shit. Like your numbers go down. Like you get tired.
Aaron Rodgers gone in 93 seconds.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god.
Remember seeing 209 at Frank and Sons last year and talked to him for a bit. Super cool dude. He absolutely is. Salute 209. You got a lot of people.
I go there every year, man. I love that place. It's only like 4-hour drive from me.
How's the nation feeling about the new GM? Again, take a look back at the live, the live I did a couple hours ago, and you're going to get more of an idea. And I promise you guys, it will put you guys, you'll be able to sleep better tonight after watching the live that we did earlier today. The Bucks have Levante David, Devin White, and Antoine Winfield Jr. all set to become free agents. Damn. Yeah. Levante David is a guy that we've talked about. Winfield Jr., be interesting to see because I know they're already talking about trying to find a way to keep Baker Mayfield in Tampa.
Yeah, I mean, getting them to the playoffs, moving out to the first round, like that dude's earned it.
Rob, wait, when does 209 go? What do you mean? What up, John B? What do you mean, Rob? Who do I want as an OC? We talked about that before. Might be Getsy. Might be Zach Robinson. Kingsbury's still out there, but obviously Goat doesn't want him. Okay. Rob said he lives near Frank and Sons.
Oh, okay. Yeah, down in the city of industry. Yeah, I think Chris Jones would be oh my god, him and Crosby next to each other would be absolutely killer. The pass rush would just be obscene.
And that's what
it would cost so. If we get here's the problem though, we get Chris Jones, we're not going to be able to address other areas. That's the one issue. You're going to have.
I think it would be only one other spot to really address, and that's where I'm hesitant because I've said this before. I believe that he's going to be commanding probably around the ballpark of like $28 to $30 million a year easily.
Yeah.
We saw what happened earlier in the season when he sat out, and then all of a sudden they gave him a little boost of money, and it was like, okay, I'm back, bitches. So I don't know. Sleeper free agent, y'all wouldn't mind signing. Are there any sleepers out there you could remotely think of?
We all know who there is. I think Chris Jones is going to be the most coveted free agent. You're going to hear a lot of rumors about him. A lot of rumors. It's going to be all over ESPN. You're going to have people. He went here. He met here. The thing is, he's a winner. He's going to want to win. He's going to want to go to a team that's going to win. I don't think it's going to be about the bag just for him.
Bourbon, bro, I love you. Like, you've been one of my loyalist ones for the 3 years I've been doing this. But Becton, fuck no. That dude is a headache and a half. You cannot imagine the reports I have heard about him time in, time out. Listening to ESPN Radio New York, Becton is not that guy. He is absolutely not. Absolutely not. Fuck no.
The Jets' offensive line is absolutely fucking horrible. Don't take anybody from there. Their offensive line is one of the worst in the league.
And they're talking like they're constantly on this kick. They tried to pull this shit the other day. I actually called into the Michael K show, and dude tried to fucking shit on everything I said. He tried to shit on the nation. Like, Michael K, you can go fuck yourself. I'm on my show now, so I can say it. You can go fuck yourself. But they're all on this kick. Devontae Adams is going to go to the Jets. You guys have no offensive line. How are you going to get Devontae Adams when you have no offensive line? Rodgers is going to be on his back over and over and over again. How do you expect to protect that guy when you have no offensive line? You're not getting Tay. Stop the cap.
Rumors with no. So I won't tell about you hear things. You hear things from people. Tay loves the Raiders. Okay, period. Plain and simple. Loves the Raiders, but he also wants to win. But he loves the Raiders first and foremost. Like people need to understand that. Like you see all the pictures of him as a kid wearing like Tim Brown jerseys and shit.
Yep.
Like he loves the Raiders. I don't see him leaving until a couple years, maybe when he's in the twilight of his career and he wants to go be a third wide receiver somewhere and try to win a ring. Other than that, I think he's with us till his contract's done, without question.
I hope so. I really hope so.
Yeah.
Look, he's another guy that wanted AP back. So for anybody to think that he's just gonna up and leave now, like meth is a terrible drug, boys and girls. Put the pipe down. Shout out to Steampunk, my blackjack buddy when I was at Mandalay. He said that I was crazy as hell for making a lot of decisions that I made at the table, and then a couple of them. Salute to him. Solid
Steampunk. Steampunk, if you got patches, my kid likes your stuff. DM me and I'll send you some of mine. My kid has a vest. And he wants to put it on there. He always looks at your mask every time we're at the games because he's always in front with Hollywood.
That's how our conversation started when we were there that last weekend. So I was in my Raider gear. I sit down. He drops a patch. So we start chopping it up about the season, talking about AP. And I'm like, oh, do you watch any of these guys on YouTube? Oh, I watch this guy, I watch that guy, and I watch Hammer. So I look up, like, bro, what's up? He just started laughing. Oh my God, I love it. I love it. That was hands down one of the funniest moments I've had with any of my supporters. Like that shit had me for a ride. That shit was funny.
I had, I'll tell you a funny story. I had somebody talking. So I started to dress up this year because all my buddies dress up. They're like, wear a costume. I'm like, all right, And so I was dressed up and somebody was talking shit about me standing next to him, not knowing it was me in the fucking suit. And I just take my hood off. I'm like, what's up? Oh, shit. I'm like, I don't care. I thought it was hella funny. I pull off my mask. I'm like, what's up? I'm like, you can't fucking tell it's me. I'm like, my tattoos were showing and everything. I thought it was hella funny.
Where is it for Edgar? He is still under contract with us right now. It appears he's going to be the assistant GM to Tom Telesco, but as of right now, he's still under contract. Shout out to Ruben Russ on the 499. Chris Jones and L'Jarius Sneed would be cool steals from the Queefs. Telesco isn't scared to swing big. Pause if necessary. We will clear cap with Jimmy and Renfro. Like I said, Renfro is 8.1. I think Jimmy after June 1st, I believe, is 12.3. So a little over 20, almost $20.5 million.
There's one question I have, and I've been keeping up on it. What's going on with Chandler Jones's contract? Are we appealing it? Are we fighting it? Because as of now, it still shows up as dead cap.
It shows up as dead cap, and I really haven't heard much about it. I've been trying to do my research on that as well. And at the same time, it's like if this was conduct detrimental to the team, that contract should be null and void. But I'm not.
That's
sure.
what I was thinking.
A lot of people have asked me about that too, and I keep looking, and there has been nothing done on it. It's still on the books as of right now, which sucks, but it is what it is. It was like a parting gift. Him and Hoyer were like parting gifts for us. Assholes. People forget John Spanos, the son of Dean, the owner, was making coaching and hiring decisions. Telesco is an experienced talent evaluator. This hire does not suck. His mentor, yep, you're 1,000% correct. I talked about his track history earlier, Omni. I know you weren't in the chat because I always see you when you pop up, but we discussed that. We talked about his long history throughout the league and the teams that he's worked for, from an intern basis to scouting to being a GM. So yeah, I do believe, and again, Tom Delaney's the one that handles the cap and the contracts and stuff. Telesco is going to be the dude with the conscious mind to make smart, conscious football decisions moving forward, and it's not going to be a dick measuring contest like we saw between Ziegler and McDaniels. Sorry, not sorry. Zach Robinson at OC or Cliff Kingsbury. Rowdy, you must have just got in. I would take Zach Robinson.
Yep, 100%.
I think it's like I think right now it's like for me with those two names, it would be 1A, 1B. I would take Zach Robinson first, though.
So I have a question. So this is the thing. So with like we all kind of have accepted the fact that Hunter's parting ways. Yeah. If we release him, we save more money. Do you think if they can't find a suitable trade partner for a pick they want, they just dump him?
Yeah, because that's what I was talking about before. We release him, it's 8.1 that we save. Like that's
no. If we release him, if we cut him, I think it's like 11 million. I want to say it's yeah. The trade's 8. I think the cut is yeah, the cut's 11. Let me see. Yeah, the
Renfro,
trade's 8. The trade's 8. The cut's 11.
Renfro's reuniting with Carr for a 6th-round pick in New Orleans.
I mean, I'm okay with that.
Everybody's cool with that.
That game is going to be fucking lit next year in New Orleans. I can't. It's circled on my. Oh man, I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna make.
Everybody's going except me. Like I think
I'm gonna be as close to him as I possibly can the entire game. You know, just I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do, what sign I'm gonna make. I don't know. I gotta figure it out. It's going to be just a shit show.
Alex just asked you guys going to any games this year. So as it stands right now, and obviously like we know this, we know who our opponents are. We don't know the exact dates of the schedule. So right now, as it stands for me, I think I have like 1, maybe 2 games on the East Coast. Baltimore, because that's only a few hour drive for me. Tampa is my old stomping grounds, and I know some people that are season ticket holders. Rams game, that's at SoFi. My aunt is a Rams season ticket holder, so I'll probably go to that game. And of course, I got to go to at least 1, maybe 2 Raider games. Home games rather. And I'm thinking probably doing the home opener again because that was just being around everybody was cool. The fact that we lost was bullshit, but it was just good being and enjoying taking everything in. Like it's always like that when I'm out there. It's always a great experience. I love the energy and I love hanging out with you guys when I get the opportunity to. So yeah.
The tailgate, it's getting better.
Just the fact that it was so fucking cold this time around, like I had to jump in my truck twice.
Yeah,
I was in Vegas, not New York City. So like I had to jump back in the truck, turn the heat on, and then like 12 o'clock, I was like, fuck this, I'm going inside. I can't do this
anymore. My son's like, I want to wear a t-shirt. I took my kids and I'm like, dude, it's freezing. Like it's like 40 degrees. Put on a fucking sweater. But it's a lot of fun. I hope the NFL does us right and they put us in Florida the 2 games in a row. So we have just a week in Florida and I won't come home. I'll just be there the whole time.
Oh, like they did when we played the Giants.
Jacksonville. Yeah. But they did it before. I think we played Jacksonville and Tampa before, and they did that to us. They had to stay out there for a week.
That would be dope, but I'm never going to Miami. Like the last time I was in Miami was like 2014, and I swore to myself I will never go back to Miami ever again.
You gotta love the Cuban girls. Come on, the Dominicans. That's the best.
I had a bad pass down there, and like I lived in Florida for a couple of years, but I'm never going back to Miami. Tampa, yeah, because that's closer to my stomping grounds of Sarasota. Like I'll be driving back and forth, going to Siesta Beach and hanging in the white sand, swimming with the dolphins and chilling. But I'm not going to Miami ever again. Fuck that. Last game I've been when Raiders playing against the Jets and Marshawn Lynch I was at that game, Leaky. That was the very first time that I had been to Oakland. That was 2017. Man.
When he was dancing on the sideline doing.
Yeah, man. That was hands down one of the most memorable experiences that I've ever had. Like that. Of course, this last game against the Broncos with everybody chanting AP after the game, like I was ready to fucking just jump from the front row and get on the field and hug him. Like, dude, we need you back.
I'm surprised nobody went on the field. Like, I am so surprised nobody ran on the field.
I thought about it, but I was like, nah. Like, I want to come back, so let me not do that.
We always mess with security because, like, I whenever I don't take my kids or I go by myself, I sit in the wing club, and the head of security is always down there, so I always bullshit with him. And the last game, I had field passes, and he was like, "What the hell are you doing down here?" I'm like, I'm gonna run from you guys. And he's, kind of starts laughing because we always bullshit with him, ask him like protocol is. He's like, no, we have red shirts. The red shirts are supposed to tackle you. And so there's runners. So the runners are the skinnier guys that are supposed to chase you down and hold you. And then everybody else catches up. And I guess there was a concert and their protocol kind of failed. So we were talking about it. And he's like, yeah, he's like, the red shirt couldn't catch him. Somebody else got to him before the other person. So they're like, we got him in under a minute, but that's too slow. That's too long. Yep. We should have him in 15 seconds, something like that. And I'm just looking at him like, I'll run both of you. And then he points to like some skinny guy. He's like, he was a college wide receiver. You ain't running him. And I started laughing. I was like, but it was pretty funny.
I did security for the US Open years ago. And I was doing the on court, but I had already left for the night. And this was when one of the fans tried to well, they actually ran onto the court. I believe they got in front of Maria Sharapova, and it took them forever to get a hold of this person. It's just like corporate came the next morning and everything. I'm like, God damn, see, if I was here, y'all wouldn't have had that problem. Let's see. Am I
Oh,
missing anybody in the chat? We've
don't.
already been on for almost an hour. I'm gonna try to see if you're open to doing this. You want to take some calls from the nation?
Let's do it. That'd be fun, man.
All right, let me plug this in.
Never done that before.
We actually had a lot of good callers earlier. Again, guys, and I said this in the last show for those who didn't see, let's keep this simple. 2 minutes at max. I want to take a couple of calls before we wrap it up tonight. So please, let's keep it quick. Let's keep it simple. Let me go to voice and get this going for you guys.
Steve Puck's talking shit on your oh, I won $3,500 at the Denver game. Playing roulette.
You can go to more games if you don't hit 14. Oh, yeah, you're 1,000% correct, bro. I was in my own head and just really, I don't know. I just didn't care. When I was out there for the home opener, I put 50 down on the table. I won 10 straight hands. And of course, this asshole is sitting at the table. Oh, you haven't lost a hand yet. Very next one. I was like, oh, okay, well, $500, I'm gone. Because like every winning, I just put to the side and just kept the original 50 down. I'm like, all right, $500, I'm out of here. Guys, 347-471-0361. Call into the SeatGeek Vault line if you guys want to talk to the GOAT or me. If you guys have any questions, Vault line is open now. I definitely turned it off, turn Do Not Disturb off this time around because you guys were going crazy earlier. Let me see if I could try to put this in the chat. Oh, never mind. Ladies and gentlemen, our resident meathead, I think him and the GOAT would be very, very good friends. Without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, L.A. Rob.
Yeah.
What's up, bro?
Yeah.
What's going on?
What's up, man?
How you doing, man?
Heading to the gym right now. What up, GOAT?
How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm excited about these hires. I was telling Hammer earlier, I know a lot of people are like stressing out about Telesco, but I really feel that people are just doing that shit because he's involved with the Chargers. So everyone wants to talk shit. Everybody wants to whine like little girls. And I'm just like, it's not worth it. This guy knows what he's doing. I think because Champ Kelly's still under contract.
Yep.
He might be staying there, and what we need is a good front office. We never had that. And finally, we're making moves for that. And for some reason, the nation wants to complain and bitch and whatever. But we're starting to piece this together. Let's get the right assistant coaches. Let's get the right pieces, and let's move up. Get Jaden Daniels. And I think we got everything else pretty much sewn up. Grab a couple free agents, get that offensive line correct. I think we're good.
Just a heads up. There's going to be a short coming out probably within the next 24 hours with you calling in earlier. That shit was comedy, and I think everybody needs to hear it in the nation so they can calm down with the signing earlier today. This shit was fucking gold, bro.
Had to. But yeah, I think we're in a good spot. Keep keeping us informed, Hammer and GOAT. And, we're just gonna ride. The nation's looking bright. So yeah. I know we're in the black hole, but shit, we're seeing the bright side of the black hole now.
Rob, as always, appreciate you, brother. And I expect to see you at least in the chat this Saturday night. Biggest WWE pay-per-view of the year.
Well, yeah, I can tell you who's gonna fucking win it, but
don't ruin it. Just pull on up on Saturday, please. We're gonna have a nice little birthday celebration. Please pull up.
I got you, brother. I'll be there.
I'll talk to you, bro.
Man, have a good one, GOAT.
You too, man. Oh yeah, he's 100% right about the Charger thing. Like you see that all the time. Any Chiefs players, any Charger players, Niner players, are like fuck them. We hate them because of the uniform they wear. It's like no, they're proven, they're winners. Like this guy's legit. Like just look at his track record of first round picks. Like he drafts Pro Bowler after Pro Bowler after Pro Bowler. Like and the thing is, like people are going to point out, oh, he drafted Quentin Johnson. It's like okay. Not everybody you draft in the first round is a winner. Not everybody you draft in the first round is going to make the Pro Bowl. This guy's had, out of 10 years has like 6 or 7 Pro Bowlers in the first round.
Yep.
And he's drafted some of the best players at their positions, not with first overall picks. Like you talk about James, Bosa, Herbert, even oh my God, he got the most out of the running back from Wisconsin. I always forget his name. People forget he was a multiple time Pro Bowler with the Chargers. Melvin Gordon, drafted Melvin Gordon.
Oh God.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I'm
he was
delighted.
lighting it up with the Chargers and then fell off a cliff when he left.
Yep.
So, and then they had a lineman that was a Pro Bowler this year. That was one of the other first round picks. So it's like, he knows how to draft. Like, just chill.
I think we're gonna be just fine. Like again, look. I was one that said I don't know how I feel about this. I didn't say anything else. I just said I don't know how I feel about this. But look, when we signed Tillery off of waivers, I don't think that many people were flying off the hinges with that. I don't think when we had signed Solomon Thomas for the year or so that he was here, I don't think people were going crazy. And he was a Niner. Like, because it's a GM, everybody's going absolute batshit right now, and there's no need for it. Like, let them handle their business. Let everything run its course. Like, again, little under a month, we have the tag period. Somebody asked me who do I think we're gonna tag. I can't give you a name right now because I really can't think of anybody that should be tagged. And then a little under 2 is the start of the new league year, and of course, a little under 3 is the draft in Detroit, which I will be in Detroit, ladies and gentlemen. We're not running it back for the 3-peat in Vegas. We will be in Detroit, boots on the ground. So if you guys are going to be out there, pull on up. Guys, the number is on the screen. Well, now it's back on the screen. 347-471-0361. Call on into the vault line and sound off if you have any questions for myself or the GOAT. Ask away. I'm only going to do this for a few more minutes because it's already past my bedtime and I do got to go walk in Monster Pups. Let's see. Am I missing anything? If we hire,
do you think we tag Jacobs by any chance? It's too expensive. You think it's like 14 this year? That's why it's a little expensive.
What?
I think it's 12 to 14 or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely
That's kind of a stretch.
I thought the value went down even more this year. I guess not. No, I'm good. And I love JJ, but no, that's way too much. Got another one. 530. Raider Nation. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Jeez, I got through this time.
Who's that?
Big Mo, man.
Oh, what's good, man?
How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Doing great. Love your show.
Appreciate you.
I love Stu. I really love Stu because I'm like a 51-year fan. So I really like his insight of the teams, that I looked at. But with this whole hiring, I was neither for or against. I was curious because I didn't know what his background was.
Right.
So I did some research and I said, okay, I feel a little better. Did some stats as far as his offense, his picks and stuff. And then people were like, going through on blues, and I'm like, dude, we got AP. He was there for the second interview. There had to be some sort of jealousy. I could see they're going to work together. No need to start burning the house down. Already, it seems like every time we do something, it's like everybody's just negative about it if it's not what they wanted. We just need to sit back and let them do their job.
I wholeheartedly agree. Like, look, nobody wanted to see a rebuild, and we're not getting a rebuild. Like, this is going to be a retool and fill in the necessary holes that we need to fill right now. Like, I think we let these guys handle their business, and we let our players handle their business on the field, and everything will take care of itself.
Like the biggest reason that I want AP to come back, he not only got the locker room behind him, it's like the whole building, and especially the leaders. Once you get the leaders, all the leaders buying in, anybody that comes in, whether they're a free agent or through the draft, they're going to have to fall in line, because the people player monitors are going to set them straight. This is how it is. I'm excited. That's what AP is doing me. It's like, dude, you brought that mentality back. You brought that, players are going to make sure they're, going to monitor themselves. So I'm really excited, and that's all really what I want to say. Plus, like I said, I love your show. Love all you guys. You guys are awesome.
Appreciate you. Thanks for the call.
Thank you, man.
All right.
Take care.
Take it easy.
So,
Bye-bye.
I love calls like that because now we got people that can be positive and have a good outlook on things moving forward, and that makes me feel a hell of a lot better. Guys, the number's still there. We're gonna take one more call and then we're gonna wrap it up.
We got to learn how to deal with happiness in the Raider Nation, because I would say probably in the past, I don't even think with Gruden we've had this much hope or positive outlook with our team. We're like, oh my God, we could be good. Like, we can actually be good. And this is the first time in a very long time we felt this way as Raider fans. Like, we know the product is going to be good.
Raider Nation News today. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Raider Nation, Lancaster, California.
What's going on, man?
Lancaster Raider, man. You guys doing a hell of a job, man. I'm watching you now. I'm pleased with the general manager. We just need somebody to work with AP. We're going to be all right, man. I've been a Raider fan for over 50 years, so I'm with Raider Nation. You guys keep doing your thing, man. I don't have too much to say. I just wanted to show my respect to you guys. And I'm all right with the quarterback, too. AP made that move. Remember that. So, no need of going in no draft. Let's use our draft for the GM. We'll be all right. And you guys keep on doing what you're doing. I'll be out there for the Super Bowl. I'm getting a Super Bowl party. So I'll see you guys out there, man.
I unfortunately won't be in Vegas this time because I missed out. I wish I would have known about it sooner, but shout out to my friend Deb Wickus. I missed out on the opportunity for media credentials. So the Super Bowl, I will not be in Vegas. I've had a lot of people trying to get me to come out there, but unfortunately, I will not be out there this time around. Next trip will be the draft in Detroit. And again, I hope to see a lot of you guys out there. I definitely appreciate the call, though.
Just keep on doing a good job, man.
Appreciate you.
We'll
Thank
be
you.
all right.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, guys. We're gonna wrap it up. We've already been on a little over an hour, and again, I got to go and take care of the little monster among pups before he starts throwing his little fits and past my bedtime, anyways. Go. Always a pleasure, man. Again, you're always more than welcome to
Thank you
hang
for
on.
having me, man. I appreciate it.
Let them know where to follow you, and let them know what you do on that gram that is Insta.
Follow me on Instagram. Like, share my stuff, subscribe. I'm always doing giveaways. 100% of my subscriber goes back to the nation. I give away prizes. As you can see behind me, I'm an avid collector. I'll turn my camera a little bit for you guys. So I'm a die-hard sports memorabilia collector. I have everything you can imagine. So what I've been doing is actually giving away a lot of my stuff and doing things like that. So subscribe on Instagram. I do a podcast with Kukui and Baker Rhetoric every Tuesday, and I hop on people's all the time. So appreciate the love. Thank you for having me on. It's always fun. Love the show. And like I said, I watched it prior to coming on, so it's pretty cool to be on now.
Definitely appreciate it, bro. Frank, look, with my channel, it's not just every Tuesday. It's definitely one thing I try to throw in at the end of every live show and moving forward. Like, I know we're in the off season, so I'll probably be on 2, maybe 3 times a week. But also, if news breaks, obviously, I'm going to jump in front of a camera, whether it be my phone or in the vault, and bring you guys that Real Raiders content. But it's not just Tuesdays. You guys are more than welcome to call in once I open the vault line for you guys at the end of most of the shows anyways. But that being said, guys, it's been a blast as always. I appreciate y'all. We, again, have been tearing it up the last 2 weeks or so. We hit 7,500. I think it was last week. We're at 7713, guys. We're under 300 away from 8K. Break them thumbs, hammer that sub, smash the bell to stay up to date with all your Raiders news, rumors, updates, live streams, and reactions. In the house that Hammer built, by the nation, for the nation. Raider Nation news today. Continue to stay safe. Most importantly, be kind to one another. COVID is back and on the rise. Remember to wash your hands and your asses. And as always, win, lose, or tie, Raider Nation till I die. Till next time, y'all. And of course, y'all see the background. I'm always on that New York. Shh. Peace, love, and positivity. I'm out.